The Bible teaches that at the center of every sin is pride. It's underneath racism and sexism and bigotry and lust, anger, fear, depression, greed, gossip, slander, hatred, murder, dishonesty, adultery, cheating, addiction, and 1,000 other forms of evil. According to the Bible, pride is what turned angels into demons. Pride is what turned Lucifer, the archangel, into Satan. At the beginning of Genesis 3, pride is what drove Adam and Eve to take the fruit from the forbidden tree and eat it and put themselves in the place of God and say, I want to be like God. I want to know like God. Pride drove Adam and Eve to eat the fruit. Pride is the first and foremost of the 7 deadly sins because it leads the train. It's underneath, behind. It's the foundation of all the other sins. Pride is the reason there is murder. It's the reason there is strife. It breaks apart families and communities. It breaks apart whole countries. Pride is the reason for war and genocide and all of the really terrible things. Pride has been a social toxin in our world for thousands of years. But something is happening now that is ratcheting it up. What we used to understand as a culture, as a world, that pride was a problem. That pride was a toxin that tears apart relationships. But we now have front-facing cameras, so we can constantly keep the attention on ourselves. We now have personalized websites and chats and all kinds of social media tools to keep our life center stage, to keep me in the center of my attention all the time and make sure everybody else is liking or loving my tweets. Social media has changed the game, and friends, I think social media runs on the engine of pride. I have one of my best friends from college sent me an article a while back that I think is really good, and it's about this problem. The author's name is Freya India, and she said, I worry most of all for the children, the 7-year-old girls who are now behaving like Instagram influencers, adopting their mannerisms and dreaming of a career where a camera is constantly on them. I worry that kind, humble, modest children are now being raised by influencers whose income relies on the most shallow human impulses. She says, social media has accelerated so much and so fast that we can't even see what it's doing to us. Having a camera roll full of thousands of selfies is now completely normal. So is checking the likes on your tweet while someone is talking to you. So is swiping through human beings like you're on Amazon. We spend 5 hours a week taking selfies and we don't see it as vanity. We talk about people's follower accounts like it's a measure of worth without a single thought of what's becoming of us. So many of us delude ourselves that these platforms are harmless and lighthearted, all the while we can feel them destroying us on the inside. We are steadily becoming more self-absorbed in ways that play out in real relationships and eat away at us and our ability to respect ourselves and others. Maybe that feeling we get from social media isn't always anxiety. Maybe sometimes that feeling is shame. I think she's onto something really significant. We, as a culture, have been talking about the devastating effects of social media on our mental health. We've been talking about these unprecedented rises in anxiety and depression, suicide rates, and everybody's talking about them inside and outside of the church. But nobody's talking about the loss of virtue. Nobody's talking about what this is doing to our character, right? We used to talk about charity and temperance and chastity and patience and diligence and kindness and humility as if they were something to be desired, as if they were the hallmark of great character in a person. And now some of those words are offensive. We spend our days focused on me. And man, if you're on social media a lot, you just can't help it. I mean, anytime there's like a break in anything, you just want to pull out your phone and check who liked it. Who responded? What are they saying about me? Social media keeps us so focused on me. Look, I'm not up here to give you new rules about social media or what to do with your phone. I can still remember vividly the first time my 6th grade daughter came home and said, I can't join a youth group Bible study because you won't let me have Facebook. And I said to myself, this is going to be a lot more complicated than I thought. I mean, this church is on Facebook, and we should be. We have people who can't come to church who watch our service there. That's awesome. I don't know how to navigate that. I mean, I want to just run from all of it. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I don't have the answers. I just want to make you aware that there are mechanisms in your heart that are so small that you will listen to a talk about social media and all the devastating effects, and you will go, yeah, but it's not that big a deal, right? It's not going to affect me. Not that way anyway. I mean, maybe a little bit. And pride is the most dangerous of the sins, and it grows undetected in our heart, and you ought to just be aware. You ought to just be aware that social media and things that keep you focused on me can feed it and grow it and nurture it until you can't see anything but you. And you completely lose the ability to see someone else and their needs, to enjoy a sunrise or a sunset for just what it is without taking a picture of it so you can post it for someone else. I mean, I'm sorry, my rant's over. I've had to raise 3 teenage daughters, and all 3 of them have suffered under the influence of a father who hates social media. And those poor girls, I love you, we'll keep trying. Every day we're trying to navigate this because I don't know. And guys, we're the pioneers. No one in the world has ever dealt with this stuff. Social media is new. So parents, I'm with you, I understand the struggle. I at least want us to see that this is a problem and it's growing something that's really ugly inside of us, and we're losing the ability to hold up the really good stuff of human character.